Marvel once again pushing their own limits with the Marvel Cinematic Universe's first F-bomb dropped by one Jon Bernthal, aka Frank Castle, aka The Punisher. Daredevil Season 2. I've been looking forward to this. So back when Daredevil Season 1 premiered on Netflix, everyone loved the shit out of it. It got like 93% or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes. And so naturally it would get a Season 2, and it's really more of the same stuff from last time. Violence, law talk. Except this time we have these comic book characters, Frank Castle, Elektra Nachios. That's right, this time around we have the Punisher and Elektra, who are both really big characters in Daredevil's lore. I will say right off the bat that this is the most solid Daredevil story we have ever seen on the screen. First of all, Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, seeing him in his red suit kicking all sorts of ass, you're like, that is Daredevil straight up. No more of that black ninja costume, that's all gone. Using his billy clubs, his radar sense, it's Daredevil. What else can I say? And Jon Bernthal as the Punisher, I got only one word for him. Badass. He owns every scene he's in. You may know him as Shane from The Walking Dead. His whole ideology is so interesting. One of my favorite scenes in this entire season is early on in episode 3, where they're on a rooftop and they're just talking and it's a clash of ideologies. I love stuff like that. These two characters come from very different places. Frank Castle is willing to do the one thing that Daredevil is not, which is kill people. It's just so cool to get into the psychology of that. Elektra is pretty badass too. She's played by Elodie Young, and I cannot think of a better person to play Elektra right now. And she comes in around episode 5, I think, and then she pretty much sticks around for the rest of the season. The only problem I have is that the Punisher story and Elektra's story in this season are completely separate from each other. I mean, they both kind of take prominence this season, but really for a lot of it, it's Foggy and Karen are trying to decide whether or not the Punisher is insane, while Daredevil and Elektra are off fighting ninjas. And that's really where most of the action is. I mean, the Punisher sticks around for like the first 3 episodes, and that's where he fights Daredevil. After that, he sticks around, but you don't really get too much action with him, but you do delve deeper into his character and his mindset, and the action comes from the whole Elektra thing. It's pretty well balanced, I would say. Another new thing this season is a romance that is developing between Matt Murdock and Karen Page, and the show does a really good job at making you root for that romance. You're like, yeah, those two together, oh my god, finally, it's so good, until Elektra comes into play and screws everything up. And this goes without saying, but I'm still gonna say it anyway. The show is still violent as hell. Yep, these Marvel Netflix shows continue the tradition of showing lots and lots of red, and I ain't talking about Daredevil's suit. Lots of stabbing and skewering and ugh. The thing I noticed though is that like if someone gets punched in the face in this show, there's like a blood splatter. Is that even realistic? And this show still being in the MCU, there are some references, not just to the movies, but to Jessica Jones really. This is where you actually start to get a sense of setup for the Defenders, because they're tying this into Jessica Jones in really cool ways. And this is me looking really deep into it, some of the dialogue kind of gave me a Civil War vibe. The whole do we really need heroes thing. That's what I got from it anyways. But Daredevil Season 2 is solid Daredevil in every way, shape, and form. If you like comic book movies and shows, then you gotta watch this. I will say it's less gory than Jessica Jones. I actually really like this season of Daredevil a lot more than Season 1. And that ain't bad. So Daredevil Season 2, have you watched it? Have you watched all of it? What's your favorite episode? What did you think about it? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.